So before we continue with the data visualization part, we will continue with the one I asked you to try it out in the data modeling part. Look here, in this case, I suggested you to try directly account and customer. It's pretty straightforward. In this case, the customer dimension table can filter this table with the customer ID only, not with the account ID. But here, the account table, obviously it filters this table with the account ID because we have created the relationship based on the account ID column. Whereas here the relationship is customer ID. But we wanted to see what is the balance by customer. What is the balance, account balance? What is the account balance by customer? We want to see what is the account balance by customer. That is what we wanted to see it, but this is not going to be helpful. Whereas this one will work fine. Look here, this is the one up to this, it is working fine. And account 2 is the table that I used it. 1 second. This is the one. This is account 2. So this is the second set of tables. So this is account 2, customer 2. It's a duplicate of this one. And customer transaction. This is how I named it. And if you see here, and this visual and this visual, both of them are matching here. Just give me a second. Something else is opening. 1 second. So this is doing perfect job with which one? This one. If you select this visual, you can see that these two columns, we use it from these two tables, account and account ID, and then the amount from this table. But in this case, what happens now? If you see here, in this case, we are not getting correct output. So all we need is something like this. 1 second, let me just, yeah, in this case, okay, if I remove the account here, yes, we want something, the output should be like this here, but whereas it is not, producing the correct output. Why? Why it is not producing the correct output? Can someone tell me why it is not doing the correct? If you see the data here, okay, I'll just put it here. This is a little bit clumsy here. I will just copy this visual to other page. I just right click on it and copy visual, and then go to the next page and then put it here. Yeah, we got this one. Remove, and I just want to remove this. And when I copy this, what happens? The account table is doing good job. The account table is correctly filtering the customer transaction table. Whereas the customer dimension table, it is not doing correct job. I just selected this visual here. I just go to the amount. Look here, the amount comes from customer transaction, the second table, this one. I'm talking completely about this one. And I just go here, and then when I keep the cursor over customer 2, when the customer is coming from here, okay. And if I go and select this one, don't summarize. This is how the data is there in my data set. right? This is what the data. So customer one, the 1,000, and again I'll put the account number so that you'll be able to understand. Account two. No, I need to put it from account two here. So this is a joint account. 100 is a joint account. Two customers. Let's say you and your mom. Okay, and this is okay. There is problem with the data here. 101. 100, 101. Okay, 101, 100 is having 350. Okay, let me just open that file. This is what the data here. Okay, if you see here, this is the original data. And if you see here, account ID 100, 100, 100, 100, balance was 1,000 and 1,500. And this is, let's say, you and, sorry, this is you and your mom. Okay, both put together. If you subtract this one balance 1,000, so you know, if you subtract 500 from 1,000, you'll get 500, isn't it? You will get 500 when you go by the account. See, if I ask your mom how much balance you have in your account, so she will include this also, withdrawn one, right? So 1,000 minus 500, 500 she will say. And if I ask you how much balance you have in this account, you will say 500 only. Both of you will say 500 only. Both of you will say 500 only, right? So both of you will say the customer name, customer one and customer two, because the customer one is a joint account, right? So two people, if your mother or you, right? If I ask you 500 in this account, for example, account number 100, how much balance you have? 500. Account number 101, how much balance you have? You will say 350, right? So 350. But in this case, what is happening here is 500 for 500 for account number 100. Account number 100, you have balance 500, and but this guy is having a joint account as well as individual account. 350 plus 500, 850 it gives. Got it? So that is what it is giving here. But whereas if I directly join the customer ID table with the customer transaction table, what is happening here is it is literally going by the customer ID. Customer is 91, 92, 92, not by the account number. Okay, so here what is happening is customer 01 is 1,000, it shows. Customer 02 is my minus 500, and other one is 350. And if I do the default summarization here, for example, here I just selected don't do summarization. Okay, I will remove the account because of the account that is. See, this time it is not doing the correct job. Why? It is going by the customer ID. Customer ID 91,000 and customer ID 9292. 350 minus, sorry, my negative 500 minus 500 minus, sorry, 350 minus 500. It gives me 150. It goes by the customer ID. It goes by the customer ID here. Okay, this is what is happening. Look here. In this case, it is doing the aggregation on these two things. And then it is showing me 91. Okay. But here the common IDs are 92. But whereas in the case of account ID, the common IDs are these two. In this account 100, account number 100, 500 balance is there, and then 101, 350. But this guy 92 is also having two accounts. Hence 500 plus 350, 850 it was supposed to show. I'll just go back here. Later I'll copy that visual also. Now let us look at the data set here. So in this case, what happens? The customer 91 is having 1000, and but here we did the filtering based on the account ID. Okay, hence 1000 minus 500, 500, and customer 2 is 92, and 92 is giving 350. But again, the 92 is nothing but 1000 minus 500. That is why I said, if I ask you how much balance you have in your account, let's say 92 is your account ID, 91 is mom's account ID. If I ask her, she will say 500, you will also say 500, isn't it? So your account balance is 500. And apart from this joint account, you have another account. So 500 plus 350, 850, it is giving me correctly. But whereas in this case, what is happening is it is not going by the account ID, it is literally going by the customer ID, because you are doing the filtering based on the customer ID. So in this case, 92, it does this sum here, and minus 500 plus 350 minus 150 and 91,000 it gives. This is not showing the correct answer. You understood? And if you look at this model part here, you are filtering this table with the customer ID, whereas here, the customer ID table, you are passing it via this bridge table, and then what you are doing is, again, you are passing the customer ID, via this one. But end of the day, this is the one is doing account ID. It is doing the filtering by account ID in both the case. In this case, if I ask you, can you give me the bank balance by account? It is doing the account wise, it is giving me the bank balance. And if I ask you, can you tell me the bank balance by customer? By customer, what is happening is, behind the scene, by account only it is doing it along with the customer name. Because indirectly it is doing account ID only. Even this also it is doing account ID. Via this table it is doing it. Okay. But here it is doing customer ID. Hence, what happens is customer ID, it is doing the, it is going by this column, customer ID, 92, minus 500 plus 350. It gives me something wrong here, 1 minus 150. But end of the day, if you go by the account number, both in joint account, even if I ask your mother or you, both of you should say 500 only balance. But it is not showing that one. It is not showing the customer one, right? It is not showing the correct one. Look here, this is the correct one. Customer 01, yes, you are 500. Customer 02, because customer 02, you have two different accounts. One is joint account, other one is the different individual account. So joint account balance was 500, individual account 350, 850. But whereas here it is not doing the correct thing. So that is the reason why, to deal with this kind of reporting requirement, you need to have a bridge table, because you cannot have a direct thing here. If you do it directly, it will not give you the correct answer here, the expected output. Understood or not? So this is how it works. That is the reason why, if you practice it, you will learn it. You see the data set, compare it, and practice it, you will get to know that. Okay. In case I cancel the class, you please utilize that time and watch my video. And in case I'm not well or something, any uncertainty,